Hi, my name is Ian Moorhead, and today I'll be talking about the authorship debate, more so against William Shakespeare. Okay, so think of any high school literature class or even a college literature class that you may have taken, and think about one playwright or author that you've studied more in depth. I know I would choose William Shakespeare. Every single year since 9th grade, so for 6 straight years, I've read at least one William Shakespeare play, and I can definitely not say that about any other author. And every person, I think, with a high school diploma, or even someone that's even gone past maybe 10th grade, has read at least one Shakespeare play. So much credit is given to him, and all his plays are critically acclaimed, such as, just to name a few, Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, Julius Caesar. But did he really write all these plays? After studying and researching, I believe that he has not, and he should be discredited of his work that is so renowned today. First, not much of Shakespeare's life exists in documentation. Paul Heckinger of BBC America writes, among the meager items, a few signatures, a record of his birth to Anne Hathaway, a strange 3-page will, some papers detailing business transactions totally unrelated to writing, and just 2 portraits, no record of his schooling, not even a single manuscript. That's all that exists in William Shakespeare's life today. How can such little information be trusted? Moving on, in 2011, the movie Anonymous was made. And it's a movie about a prodigal child who takes Midsummer's Night Dream and performs it eventually for Elizabeth I. And as everyone knows that we've read in this class, A Midsummer's Night Dream is a William Shakespeare play. However, William Shakespeare is not the boy in the movie who wrote the play. It is, however, Edward de Vere, or the Earl of Oxford. And lots of Shakespeare fans and nerds, per se, were angry that the play was even made in the first place. To give an example, Columbia professor James Shapiro has dedicated over 20 years to studying William Shakespeare in Elizabethan era writing, and he was offended that the movie was made in general. So think of your favorite music artists and think if all their songs came out tomorrow that they had all been taken from someone else. You wouldn't be very happy about it either. And the nation, after this movie was made, became more attentive to the debate just because of movies in general bringing a lot of attention to certain things. Now, the direction of the movie and the screenwriting is all subjective, but there still is more real evidence involved. So, for an example, Shakespeare was born on April 23rd, 1564, and as no birth certificate is alive today, there is a record of his christening, which confirms his birth date. Now, for people who argue for Shakespeare against Edward de Vere, they would say that 10 plays written by Shakespeare were dated after de Vere's death. But really, who's dating these plays? Who says that a play was written in 1605 when the year is 2000? We're in the 2000s and people are dating plays in 1605 and 1610. Who can really make such educated guesses? Obviously, no one's been alive today and 452 years ago. So to continue for Edward de Vere, Alan Hall of the Telegraph interviewed Kurt Kryler, who wrote The Man Who Invented Shakespeare, about Edward de Vere. He says that his works are too like Shakespeare's. I'm sure everyone can look at a Shakespeare writing and be like, wow, without even knowing, they'd be like, that's William Shakespeare. No one since then has been able to compare to his writing, his grammar, his iambic pentameter. So how can 2 people of the same time period have the same type of grammar, have the same type of writing? It just doesn't add up. And Edward de Vere had a top-level education. He graduated from Cambridge University when he was 14, mastering in both law and Italian. So he had the knowledge and the education to write such incredible works. However, Shakespeare's early life does not add up with these works. He grew up in Stratford-upon-Avon with a lower middle class of life, and his father John worked as a handyman with several different things such as farming and leather work. However, he did marry Mary Arden, who is the daughter of a dignified landowner, but even with his marriage to Mary Arden, there's no way he would have still been able to have gone to university and have become such a prestigious playwright. And without going to university, he couldn't have learned about things such as politics, European geography, and different languages that he wrote about in his plays. And it's not like he could have looked it up on the internet and learned about it himself. But de Vere did have the education and the social status. For an example of what Shakespeare would have had to have learned in university was a political theme. And in Hamlet, Polonius is the character that John Orloff describes as a person who portrayed William Cecil, or the right-hand man to Elizabeth I. And he was murdered in the play. Is this not a political act? So to conclude, it's crazy to think that William Shakespeare, after all this time, could have been a fraud. It's tough for a lot of people to grasp, especially people who have put their entire lives into studying him. However, the more people that look into the authorship debate, the more that is found against William Shakespeare. Thank you.